In today's episode, we will look at how organization will actually look like in AI augmented world. I will start by picking up from where we left in the last episodes. We spoke about how work is changing. We spoke about rhythm, clarity, and the difference between how humans move and how AI moves. And we explored why leaders cannot rely on old structures in a new environment. But there's a question that sits behind all of this, a question I have been thinking about quietly for months. And is what will our organizations actually look like as AI becomes the normal part of the work? Not in theory, not in hype, in reality. Because the more discussions I have with leaders, the more I read the research, the more I observe inside real workplaces, the clearer it becomes that the structure of organizations will change. Will not collapse, will not remain the same, it will shift. So that's the reason today I want to explore that shift. Not going to predict or promise, simply examine what research tells us, what patterns are emerging, and what these changes could mean for people, culture, and performance. So, I would like to start with a clear point. Before we talk about the future, we need to ground ourselves in what we already know. Currently, there are two loud narratives out there. One says that AI will replace most humans, and the other says that nothing will change. You must be aware of both these narratives, and of course, both are extremes. Reality sits in the middle. And how, when I look at credible research, especially from MIT and McKinsey, I see a different picture. What that picture looks like is AI changes tasks, it changes capabilities, it changes shape of roles. That's what is pushing organizations to redesign work, not eliminate humans. And if you dig deep and deeper you go, you see the studies, the clearer one message becomes. And what that message is, AI is powerful at automation and humans are powerful at judgment, context, connection, and coordination. We all know that here. And the future will require both. This is the foundation for everything else we discussed today. We will look what research shows actually. And I want to anchor in the evidence. And we'll start with the research from McKinsey Global Institute, what they say. Their research repeatedly points to four patterns. What those patterns are: a large portion of tasks can be automated. Entire jobs are rarely automated end to end. The biggest shift is in skill composition and role design. Organizations need to reconfigure workflows around humans plus systems. Yes. So McKinsey is not saying most employees vanish. They are saying most jobs transform. I will look at MIT work of the Future Initiative. MIT is consistent and very clear here. They say AI tends to augment human work. Jobs evolve, they don't evaporate. High context, relational, judgment heavy work becomes more essential. Organizational design becomes a leadership responsibility. This is not a technical one. That's what we need to understand here. When you combine these two institutions, the direction becomes unambiguous. This information will help you. AI reduces low context repetition and increases the value of human coordination, and at the same time sense making. And that has structural consequences because the pattern is changing, the rhythm is changing. And if you look at how these structures can change, again, these are not predictions, these are lenses that will help us to understand the shift. So we are proactively looking at, so we are ready. Right now we are living in a pyramid organization. We know that, we are all aware of this structure. This is large administrative base, several support layers, specialists, managers, executive, a familiar traditional one, this model. And if we imagine the AI augmented hourglass, this is early transition. What it looks like, the base shrinks as repetitive work is automated, some middle layers compress, specialists and cross-functional contributions expand, managerial roles shift toward coordination and clarity. And if we look closely, this is already visible in many sectors now. And the next is the diamond of possible future. What it's going to look like is a smaller base, hybrid generalists, specialists with AI support, team leaders, orchestrators, context holders, a lean top focused on direction, values, and alignment. Now you will ask me why this shape? This shape because when repetitive work reduces and when technology accelerates, humans who hold judgment, coordination, and context become the stabilizing center. Again, this is not a claim that every company will look like this. It is supported by logic of how work shifts under AI. It's a reason it may look like that. So what actually changed inside work? If we move from structure and go deeper into look at work structure, what's going to change? Tasks shrink or expand. This depends on the nature. Nature of work will determine what is going to shrink. Routine tasks shrink. Contextual tasks, they expand. Exception handling increase. Relationship tasks increase. So roles become more hybrid. People would not do just one job, one thing. They are going to move across different skills. They will move across analysis, communication, coordination, system navigation, problem solving, even stakeholder alignment. And here the orchestration layer grows. As AI increases speed, the coordination load on human increases too. That's the reason orchestration layer increases. And team leads and senior specialists shift from just supervising tasks. They need to orchestrate systems and people together. And this is what widens the center of the diamond. And how it's going to affect culture, talent, and performance, very important question for organizations. This is where HR becomes essential. If we look at culture, AI speeds up the system. Humans need stability at the same time. And if organizations don't redesign culture intentionally, they create overload, misalignment, and burnout. Here, culture becomes the buffer, the anchor, the context, the quality of human experience inside accelerated systems. That's very important. And if we look at talent, the talent profile changes significantly because now different skills are required. AI literacy, multi-speciality, capability, communication, reasoning, collaboration. and most important, learning agility. So these become essential, not optional. At the same time, if I now the performance very important because that's what organizations want. Performance shifts from task completion to outcome clarity, collaboration, rhythm, system navigation, value contribution, human machine coordination. This all requires a different kind of leadership and a different kind of organizational design. Yes, because everything is changing, we can't move with the same structure and same leadership. And let's be precise here. We cannot say every company will become a diamond. AI will remove exact percentages of job. This model applies everywhere. But we can say here that the base of repetitive work will shrink. The middle of judgment heavy work will expand. The need for human coordination will increase. Culture and leadership will become more critical. Organizations will need structural redesign. Multiple studies support these directional shifts. And I'm here not talking for prediction. I'm just helping you to have a map of possibilities supported by research and real trends. So you can have a better idea and think in that direction what is going to work better for you. And this is going to be a direction for you shaped by research, shaped by real patterns inside organizations, and shaped by my own lens as someone who works deeply with culture, structure, and performance. Overall, AI will change the nature of work, it will change the shape of roles, and it will require organizations redesign how people and systems move together. But the core remains the human judgment, trust, and coordination, and the environment we create around the work that we need to pay attention to. And if you want to explore this further, or if you're working through these questions inside your organization, your own organization, you can reach out. I'm always open to conversations that move us forward with clarity and better design. Thank you for watching.